It was a quiet Sunday morning at the small church in the town of Harmony. The congregation was gathered, eagerly awaiting the words of their beloved pastors, 3 men who had been their spiritual leaders for years. But little did they know, their world was about to be turned upside down. As the pastors took to the pulpit, 3 young teenage boys stood at the back of the church, nervously fidgeting and exchanging worried glances. They were the same boys who had bravely come forward to accuse the pastors of a great sin, sexual abuse. It had been a difficult decision for the boys to make. They knew the pastors were respected and admired by the community, and they feared that no one would believe them. But they also knew that they couldn't stay silent any longer, and so they took their accusations to the authorities. At first, the pastors vehemently denied the allegations, proclaiming their innocence to their congregations. But as more evidence came to light, it became clear that they were guilty. The boys' stories were corroborated by witnesses and physical evidence, and it was clear that these men had been using their positions of power to take advantage of vulnerable young boys. Yet, even as the truth came out, the pastors refused to admit their wrongdoing. They continued to deny everything, even in the face of overwhelming evidence. And to make matters worse, they were prideful, believing that their money and influence would be enough to silence the boys and their families. But their arrogance was short-lived. As the legal system took its course, the pastors were convicted and sentenced to prison. However, their punishment did not end there. As they lay on their deathbeds, haunted by their sins, they were suddenly faced with the ultimate judgment, standing before the Almighty Yahweh. It was a terrifying experience for the pastors. As they were shown the full extent of their wicked deeds, they were confronted with the pain and suffering they had caused, not only to the boys they had abused, but also to their families and the entire community. But the most terrifying part of all was when they were sent down to hell, where they were tormented by demons for all eternity. The same demons they had once thought they could control with their wealth and power were now their masters, punishing them for their unforgivable actions. As they endured the endless agony, the pastors could only reflect on their lives and the choices they had made. They had been given the chance to lead their congregation on a path of righteousness, but instead, they had chosen a path of darkness and deceit. And now, they were paying the ultimate price for their sins. The town of Harmony was left reeling from the downfall of their once respected pastors. But through the darkness, a glimmer of hope emerged. The brave boys who had come forward and spoken the truth had not only brought justice to themselves, but also to countless others who may have suffered in silence. And as the community came together to heal and move forward, they knew that the true power and guidance they needed came not from a man, but from a higher being, one who would never lead them astray.